my father often told me when I was just a lad, a sailor's life was very hard, the food was always bad. But now I've joined the Navy aboard a man of war, and now I find a sailor ain't a sailor anymore. Don't hold the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore.
Well, the killick of our mess, he says we've had it soft. It wasn't like this in his day when he was up aloft. We like our bunks and sleeping bags, but what's a hammock for? Swinging from the deckhead or lying on the floor. Don't hold on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore.
Well, they gave us an engine and pulse went up and down. Then with more technology, the engine went around. Woo! We know a steam diesel, but what's the main yacht for? A stoker ain't a stoker with the trouble anymore.
Don't hold on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore.
Well, they gave us all the slams so we can do it right. They gave us a radio, we signal day and night. We know our codes and ciphers, but what's a semaphore? A bunting caster doesn't toss the bunting anymore.
Don't hold on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore.
2 cans of beer a day, and that's your bleeding lot.
Give us more.
Now we get an extra one because they've stopped the top. So we'll put our civvy clothes on and find a pub ashore. A sailor's still a sailor, just like
Here we go!
Don't hold on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore.
One more time!
Don't hold on the rope, don't climb up the mast. If you see a sailing ship, it might be your last. Get your civvies ready for another run ashore. A sailor ain't a sailor, ain't a sailor anymore. Whoa!
Get both of them in tune.
I'll aim for
So if you can just all step forward just a little bit on those mics there, that'd be absolutely perfect. Right, here they are live in the studio. I'll have a shanty.
Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all my tin on the lasses drinking gin. Far across the Western Ocean I must wander. Where are me boots? Me noggin boots. They're all gone for beer and tobacco. For the heels they are worn out and the toes are kicked about. And the toes are looking out for better weather. Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all my tin on the lasses drinking gin. Far across the Western Ocean I must wander.
Where is my shirt?
On your back.
My noggin shirt. It's all gone for beer and tobacco. For the collar is all worn and the sleeves they are all torn.
And the tail is looking out for better weather. Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all my tin on the lasses drinking gin. Far across the Western Ocean I must wander.
I'm sick in the head, I haven't been to bed
Since first I came ashore from my summer.
and I spent all me dough on the lasses, don't you know?
Far across the Western Ocean I must wander. Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all my tin on the lasses drinking gin. Far across the Western Ocean I must wander.
Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. For I spent all me tin on the lassies drinking gin.
Well spent.
Far across the western ocean I must wander.
For I spent all my tin on the lasses drinking gin. Far across the western ocean I must wander. Woo!
Hey!
So I'll Have a Shanty formed as a result of 6 mates who got together. We used to sing in a choir together, and one day we just decided on an off day to sing a few sea shanties. And from there we never looked back. I'll Have a Shanty was formed.
So, well, basically, the name itself comes from the French chanteur, chanter, to sing. Generally adopted that name. Where that comes from, probably lost in the midst of time. However, they generally refer to British naval folk songs in a way that was mostly made up on the spot. And then as they became more into daily use, the shanty man, who was the lead guy on the rope or on the capstan, would lead the songs and make them up for as long as they needed to, really. And then they became known and repeated, and a lot of the stuff used in the songs was to take the mick out the officers mainly, or the rest of the crew. And it depended on the job that they were doing as to what type of shanty, whether it be a short haul job. If it was a halyard job, say hoisting up the mainsail, they'd do a pull and then a relax on the rope. And then the windlass type of shanty, such as say a roving, is purely just to keep everybody in time. So that it's just the efficient way of doing the job on board a ship, pretty much. Unfortunately, they started to die out at the end of the 19th century as we moved into the 20th century with the advent of steam power. And but it's just a nice tradition that we like to keep going, and it's also having a bit of fun.
Hello, and welcome to I'll Have a Shanty. Let me tell you about our band members and our shanty names. My name is Captain Kevin King, and I play tambourine. We have Elliot C. Spray, our technical wizard, puts together all our videos. We have Long John Tony Calladine, very cool, very sophisticated, plays a mean drum. We have Seasick Stuart Green, our promoter and our founder. We have Lee Kiss Me Harvey, Mr. Harmony. We then have finally able seaman Andrew Newton, Mr. Bass, possibly the best looking man in the band. I'll leave that for you to decide.
I play the drum in the shanty band, and not all shanties need a drum beat behind them, but sometimes it helps just to drive the song along a bit, as long as it's a simple beat. Shanties, after all, were designed for sailors to keep in rhythm when hauling sail or when raising the anchor, and so a beat goes naturally with a shanty song, and it helps it.
It's one of those, it came from one of those really huge creative processes, what we tend to do in a band. One of those amazing creative processes that some people are familiar with, known as the pub chat. We went into a pub, somebody poured us beer, and we started drinking that, and that sort of helped with the creative process. And I'm sure it's a creative process that lots of people go through. And having drunk quite a lot of beer, we were starting to come up, what are we going to do for a name? And we wanted to have it obviously something to do with shanties and the sea. And because we are based in the Isle of Ely, one of the band members suggested that it should be Isle, have the word Isle in it, spelt as in I'll, not I will. And then we started to freeform on it, and it was actually, I'll claim it, it was me that said, I'll have a shanty, why not?
Ely, being in the heart of the Fens, well, I like to think it's the heart of the Fens, though I think Wisbech claims to be the capital. It's been surrounded by water for hundreds of years, so if we look back at the original Fens area in the old Fenman, The area is all marshy, surrounded by that water where we could only move around on the high causeways. And then in the 1600s, you had the Dutch fella called Vermuyden come across, and he started all the major drainage works in this area, and actually formed what we call the Isle of Ely, because there's 5 of us live on the Isle of Ely. One of us lives a bit further afield. But if we wanted to go around somewhere nowadays, if we didn't have bridges, we'd end up in the river. So we are on an island. Also, 3 of us do live in Sutton, and just a mile away in a little hamlet called Sutton Galt, you have to use washes. Now, the first river you come across is the New Bedford, or it's called the 100-foot River as well, and that's actually a tidal river. So if it's got low flows coming down from Bedford, the tide will make its way further up to Sutton Galt, and we'll have a bit of salty, briny water there. So you could get on a boat down there, sail down the river, past Denver, past King's Lynn, out into the Wash, the North Sea, and then the world would be your oyster. So you could go and find yourself your own little treasure island from the village. So with our connection with water to the area, and also I think we've got the best, probably the best, what should I say, ship in this area. You may be thinking what am I talking about, but of course it's Ely Cathedral, known as the Ship of the Fens. Been a spiritual home for many people for, again, hundreds of years, but also a guiding landmark for us, especially in this day and age. You can go miles into the Fens and look, and there you see the old faithful ship in the early mornings sailing through the mist. So I think that's where we've got a good stake to say, yeah, we're good to have a shanty band in this area.
That's the town we did roam, drinking all night, got into a fight. Well, I feel so broken, I wanna go home. So hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sails, go for the captain ashore. Let me go home, let me go home, I wanna go home, yeah. Well, I feel so broken, I wanna go home. The first mate, he got drunk and broken the captain's trunk. The constable had to come and take him away. Sheriff Johnstone, why don't you leave me alone? Yeah. Well, I feel so broken, I wanna go home. Come on now. Hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sails, go for the captain ashore. Let me go home, let me go home. Let me go home, let me go home, yeah. This is the worst trip I've ever been on, so hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sails, go for the captain ashore. Let me go home, let me go home. I wanna go home, yeah, yeah.
Our first gig came after about 6 months of practicing and messing about with sea shanties, and it was down at Sutton Feast Galt Day last June, where we sang together, and off the back of it we were spotted, and we were asked to come and play the Hadnam Steam Rally, which we did in September, where we competed with steam engines, carousels, a wall of death. We got through though, and had a great day there. And then various other gigs arose, and one of which was the Big Switch On at Ely, where we did a marathon 5-hour busking set round town, and then on the terrace at 3 at 3, and then we played at the Minster and at the West End and raised a few quids for the Light Switch On. Our big moment came really though in January, when we were asked to come and play on the BBC Radio Cambridgeshire Folk Show, and we did a live set. And that opened doors, and off the back of that we got lots of gigs for this year, including the Portland Ballroom at the Strawberry Fair, and the Thriplow Daffodil Festival, and of course the Hadnam Beer Festival.
Now, I think all the shows and concerts we've done so far since we started last year have been special in our own little way, and I think we've learned from each one as we've gone along. But for myself, back in March time, I believe it was, but with lockdown, all the days seemed to be the same, so it could be slightly different. But we did a charity show for Sutton Scouts. They're looking to raise money for a new scout hut, and I think it's the first time when we've actually played to a paying audience. Though all the money went to the Scouts Fund. We was the only act. There was no support act, no comedian. We weren't the support act. We were the main act. And to get up there and entertain people, it was really great. Made the hair stand on the back of your arms. Being up there with the mates, singing, entertaining people. We got a great vibe back from the crowd. People wanted an encore as well. Great feedback when we finished. So I think that's been really the highlight of I'll Have a Shanty so far, and I'm sure we can go further on that as well.
Regarding our music, we love singing traditional sea shanty songs. We've also had a song written for us, currently in production. I myself have written 2 songs, Fisherman of Ely and The Shipping Forecast. We're currently arranging those. We can't wait to play them to you in the future.
It's really important for us to pull all of our musical talent together to get the best out of it. And when we do that, we realise that there basically is none to work with. So we have to try and make things up as we go along. It really is. It kind of is along those lines. Once we've identified a few songs. If a band member suggests a song, what we do is we tend to. They will find the lyrics, they'll distribute the lyrics to all of us, and what we'll do is we'll all go on Tinternet and have a look and see at various versions of the song. And then when we come together, or we used to, obviously not at the moment, we would then run through various versions of the song that we might have heard, and sort of kind of evolves. We kind of come up with our own version. It might be attached to somebody else's version a little bit in terms of arrangement, but yeah, what we tend to do is we do make it up as we go along.
Ooh, favourite shanty now, that's a difficult one. Well, they're all so good really, especially when we do them, as I'll Have a Shanty obviously. So my favourite to sing, I guess, probably Spanish Ladies. Can really put your heart and soul into that one. Not the favourite with some of the fans, I must admit, but there you go, can't please everybody. In terms of a bit of fun, well, that comes down to 2. I guess you've got Sailor Enter Sailor with all the actions, and then obviously the favourite one everybody knows, which would be Drunken Sailor. In terms of putting your heart and soul into it, I guess probably South Australia. Kev's strong intro really gets us all going on that one. But overall, in terms of all the songs we do sing, I think there probably is one that stands out. It's got everything really that sums up what a shanty should be about. It's got a bit of history in there. It's got a bit of bawdiness, which we all like, don't we? and it's a bit of fun. So for me, no choice really. It's got to be Nelson's Blood all the way.
And the title refers to a legend around the death of Admiral Lord Nelson, who was shot at the Battle of Trafalgar in 1805, and in order to preserve his body, it was placed in a casket of rum or brandy. When the ship returned to England and the casket was opened, it was found that there was no rum or brandy left, and it was assumed that the sailors had drunk it. And this gave rise to the slang term tapping the Admiral, which is reference to drinking through a straw all the brandy or rum from a casket. And it also gave rise to the name Nelson's Blood for rum or brandy on ship.
Oh, a drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. A drop of Nelson's blood wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll roll the
old
chariots along.
We'll roll the golden
chariots along.
We'll roll the old
chariots along.
and we'll all hang on behind. Oh, a bottle of rum wouldn't do us any harm. A bottle of rum wouldn't do us any harm. A bottle of rum wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll
roll the old
chariots along.
We'll roll the golden chariots along. We'll roll the old chariots along. And we'll all hang on behind. Oh, a tight-waisted girl wouldn't do us any harm.
A tight-waisted girl wouldn't do us any harm.
A tight-waisted girl wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll
roll the old chariots along. We'll roll the golden chariots along. We'll roll the old chariots along. And we'll all hang on behind. Oh, a damn good flogging wouldn't do us any harm. A damn good flogging wouldn't do us any harm. A damn good flogging wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll
roll the old chariots along. We'll roll the golden chariots along. We'll roll the old chariots along. And we'll all hang on behind. Oh, a night with the girls wouldn't do us any harm.
A night with the girls wouldn't do us any harm.
A night with the girls wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll
roll the old chariots along. We'll roll the golden chariots along. We'll roll the old chariots along. And we'll all hang on behind.
And so we'll
roll the old chariots along. We'll roll the golden chariots along. We'll roll the old chariots along. And we'll all hang on behind.